Okay, man, we're live. All right. I wanted to talk a little bit about a certain scripture in Matthew 24, I believe it is. But first, I want to ask you a question. Do you remember when we were living with Mom and we were just teenagers? And she would tell us, every room in that house she had, that was her house. She owned it. She said, go in the alley and get those 2 chairs out of the alley, where people would throw away their, back then on 7th Street, everybody put their chairs, couches, refrigerators, garbage in the alley. And she said, I seen 2 chairs in the alley. I want you boys to go get them, and go get them now. Remember, she'd do that to us?
Yeah.
And I can remember getting so mad at her, and she would say, I would tell her, Mom, wait till it cools off. Because, we wanted to do it in the dark. We didn't want to be seen carrying garbage out, all faded and ripped chairs out of the alley and, putting them in her house. I'm sure you remember this.
Yeah.
And it was embarrassing. So, it would, I can remember it would get dark, and she would say to us, what are you boys waiting for? It's dark, it's cooled off, go get them chairs before someone else gets them. And we would tell her, Mom, the garbage guys ain't coming for a week. They'll be there. And what we were doing, we were waiting till midnight. That's when we'd go out and get those chairs for her.
Yeah.
And I used to think, of course, we were both just teenagers, and oh man, there were some really pretty girls in the in that area there on 7th Street in Virginia. I mean, like, you married one of them.
Yeah.
And her best friend was Billy Dawn.
Billy Dawn. Yeah.
Billy Dawn. Wow. I was always trying to make time with Billy Dawn. And boy, they were hot numbers. All their girlfriends.
Yeah.
Billy Dawn would come walking by the house during the day or the evening, and I'd always go out in the yard and start talking to her. And she was like, Billy Dawn was like, to me, was like Billie Jean, what Billie Jean was to Michael Jackson. You remember that song? In the song, Michael said, Billie Jean at my door. Hell, I couldn't even get Billy Dawn in the yard. But oh God, that's so funny when I think about it. But anyways, I just remember Mother being like that and embarrassing us so bad. I remember one time, you remember the time I give Teresa a ride somewhere, the girl you married, her girlfriend, and you were all dating at the time. And I must have said something off color to her, and she told you. And when you confronted me out in the front yard at Mother's house, remember we got in a fist fight out there?
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember that, don't you? Mother came out and broke it up.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't the first and it wasn't the last. That's just the way we were. It's a wonder we sit here now together and we haven't shunned each other all
We
these
got
years.
old. Things were different.
Yeah, I guess you get old, huh? And just let shit go. But we let things go even back then when we was young, as far as between us. But I want to talk a little bit about Yeshua and that first Adam and that last Adam. Now, some people might think this has nothing to do with Jesus, this conversation that we just had.
Okay.
Do you think this would have anything to do with Jesus, this conversation?
No.
Okay. Well, in the book of Matthew, it says that concerning the second coming of Christ, they asked him, hey, what's going to be the second coming, the second appearing? Because, he was going to have to go to the cross. He was teaching them He's going to be crucified, died, and buried, and resurrected. And so they're asking him while he's still with them, what will be thy sign of thy second coming? And he said to them that in that day there shall be two men in a field. One shall be taken and one shall be left. And then he said, there'll be two women grinding at a millstone. One shall be taken and one shall be left. Just off the cuff, who do you think's being taken and which one's being left and why? What do you think?
You'd think the one's gonna be taken up to heaven, and the one's gonna have to stay down here on this hellacious earth. That's what the Bible kind of
That's what it sounds like.
sounds like, yeah.
And that is what's taught in the Orthodox Christianity on the better part of those that believe in what's called the rapture. You know, Jesus is going to come in the clouds in the sky, and he's going to know all of his down below, all the goody two-shoes that are ready and waiting for him, you know, the second coming. And he's going to take them up into the clouds in the sky with him, and all the unbelievers and sinners, regenerated, are going to be left on the earth. And the great tribulation is going to start taking place. They do teach that to this day.
Yeah.
Well, that's not what that scripture's talking about. You know, and you remember how I've said many times that there's only two men, and there's only ever been two men in the earth. You are that earth. There's only two women that have ever been in the earth, and those two women are you that have been in. You're the earth. So those two men is that first man, Adam. That's a given. As you begin to understand what the first man was, he was the man that fell and lifted hell into this dimension. That's Adam in the Adamic nature. That's what Christ was coming to redeem. Christ was referred to as the last Adam. Just the other day I heard a woman teaching that, and she referred to as Yeshua, Jesus, as the second Adam. He wasn't the second Adam. He is referred to as the last Adam, because after him there's going to be no more Adam, no more fallen nature on this earth. Now some would say, well, he came and he died and he was buried and he was resurrected, and from what I can see is there's a whole lot of Adams still walking around and living on this earth. Just look at the chaos and the darkness, the wickedness and the evil. You know, it's still here. What Christ was talking about when he spoke that is that it's that Adamic nature that we take on when we come into this life and dimension. And when we become aware, awakened, if you will, born again, as the Christians like to refer to it as, we become aware of the Christ, the last Adam. So think of it kind of like this to help you. It's like you got these two personalities living in you that's a part of you. Now, as you know, there was the tree of life in the garden in the beginning that Adam was commanded not to eat thereof. And there was the tree of what?
Good and evil.
Ah, that's good. Yes. So what I want to say about that is, okay, it says those two trees were in the garden amongst many other trees. That garden was full of trees. And let's just talk a little bit about that tree of good and evil that Adam was commanded not to eat of. and that which caused the fall of humanity. Well, we definitely known and have seen the evil, and we're seeing it now. A lot of it, we're seeing it in the world. But I'll tell you something. That good will kill you just like that evil. That good will kill you quicker than the evil. There's a scripture that says, all of our righteousness is like filthy rags in his sight. That means there's nothing you can do to earn the gift of salvation. There's nothing you can do. It's not about being good. That being good will lead you even deeper into darkness.
Yeah,
Okay?
and stress and worry.
Yes. You might say it'll lead you even deeper also into religion.
Uh-huh.
That's why there's so many religions on the earth right now. And they're just prolific. There's a church on every corner. You'd think all these churches and all these Christian professing born again people and on YouTube, on in the mega churches, and just it's just they're everywhere. But why is this world in such a freaking mess?
Yeah.
What is going on?
Well, all the evil is coming out, and
Yeah.
I mean, it's getting more evil every day.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
it makes you think that it's close to the end of times.
Yeah. Very good.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. And so once again, we're back to the that's the time we're in, and everybody's waiting for this, which is referred to as the second coming. So the two men that are in the field, once again, think of it like two personalities in you. That fallen Adamic nature is the one that's going to be taking away, and the fullness of the resurrection is what is going to appear and is appearing, and the transformation of that believer that's in the faith. That's what will be remaining.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's what we're, and the woman speaks of the soul. See one woman at the mill grinding the seed. One shall be taken and one shall be left. It speaks of the soul. You have a soul, an eternal soul that is awakening to the Christ. She shall be left. And that which is the tares of the earth is the other woman. She's going to be taken out of the earth and away. That's what he was speaking of. Remember, he spoke about a parable of the sower that goes forth and he sows seed, and says that the one that sowed the seed went to sleep and woke up and realized there was bad seed in the field, the tares, and he went and told the master and said, "Master, you want us to pull out all the bad weeds and the tares? Because tares look just like wheat. You can't tell them apart, really." And he said, "No, leave them. Because if you tear them up, you might tear up the wheat, the good seed with it. So leave it till the end, until the harvest." And Revelation speaks about that harvest. The book of Revelations, John the Revelator seen that there was a man with a sickle. That's a harvester, and cutting down the wheat to get the separate the chaff and the seed. And he was told, "Thrust in thy sickle, for the harvest is white unto gathering." See, so that's what was being waiting for. That's what we've been waiting for. That's what's about to take place in the earth, is that great harvest. And that great harvest, the tares are the darkness, the evil, the wickedness that's within man's heart. the goodness in the name of being good and keeping, the religious teachings. Okay, that's what's going to be taken out. And the only thing that's going to be left is the good seed.
Okay.
And the good seed is the Christ.
Uh-huh.
You see, that's the last Adam. The first nature, the Adamic nature, is going to pass away and be removed. And the last Adam nature, if you will, is going to be all that's left. And in that understanding now of the truth and walking in it and the power of the resurrection. See?
Yeah. Yeah, you can't figure that out by reading the Bible, though.
No, you can't figure that out by reading the Bible.
Going to church don't
But
say that.
right, but having said that, we still need that Bible because the Spirit gives you the understanding of it. But you'll never figure it out by,
Yeah.
The scriptures say men will be ever learning concerning the scriptures, but never able to come to the understanding of the truth.
Wow.
See, that's what the Pharisees, that's right where they were. They were supposed to be able to see and understand and receive the Christ, but they rejected him. They just could not accept him. See, it's a similar thing right now, today, with religion and man-made religion. It's disappearing. Look what it's leading us to right now. Who's backing and fighting that horrific war in Iran?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
We're fighting it for the Jewish nation, if you will. Okay? And we're supposed to be a Christian nation. Believer in peace and goodness and loving your fellow humanity and your fellow human. And okay, what are we doing over there? Dropping bombs?
That's
They say 160 schoolgirls were wiped out, and the bomb that wiped them out was American made.
Yeah,
okay?
That's hard to understand that.
Yeah, what's going on, Christians? See?
Yeah.
You think about it, it's religion.
Uh-huh.
But religion is dying because that's the Adamic nature is found in religion. And the last Adam is coming alive. And so we'll just leave it at that, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta close this up. Okay, that's it. 10-4 over and out.